online delivery.
How's your online stuff going?
Yeah, it's rocking. It's good. We're not in physical environments, right, where we can all do traditional learning. And so we have this thing called Zoom or whatever platform you're on. The thing that remains the same is people are hungry to learn and connect, right? So it's about what we've been doing, you and I both, is I think playing with technology and playing with learning design around how do we help people learn and connect well, like we always want to do, right? And it's been great. I'm amazed actually.
Because some of it's the same, right? Like having a laugh, looking at people, that stuff's all the same.
That's it. Oh yeah, gosh, yeah, and just getting people to talk with each other and learn from and with each other rather than have some dude or chick at the front of the room who's like, I know everything, because it's not what we really do. It's more, hey, I'm going to host an hour for you. Let's have a conversation. We're going to use some technology rather than, the airwaves that are in the room together. We're actually going to use technology and we're going to make it work. And I've been blown away by how good stuff has been, and I really enjoy it. Like I've been running 3 webinars a day on average every morning. And I get to 12:30, I'm like, ugh. But also, it's been
I like
been
your
awesome.
point about how it's as much about the other people that are engaging with each other as it is with what you're delivering, because I reckon the number one thing that we've picked up on here is that the earlier you get people talking to each other and not just listening to you, the better the session runs. And so I reckon if I don't get people in the chat box exchanging stuff in the first 30 seconds, it's hard to get back.
I know. I reckon we have to see our role, and this is not just us, but I think any manager, any leader who's hosting a Zoom call for their team or whatever it might be, I think the best hat to wear is host. Yeah. This idea that you're hosting a conversation as opposed to trying to disseminate information, right?
I quite like that. From facilitator to host.
Yeah, host. And I think of like someone like Graham Norton, right? And so when he's got the Graham Norton show, he's the leader of it.
And he drinks wine while he's doing it, which I quite like.
And which I like the spin on that. Yeah, but he's the host, right? Like he brings other people in and he gets them having conversation with each other. And that's what we love to see, is the interaction and the learning that goes on and the common theme. It's almost like the ideas are the centre, not him, And I think that's kind of what we want to try and do in an online environment as well. So seems to be working for us.
It takes a bit of confidence though, doesn't it? Like I think if you're not feeling totally across all the online stuff, we feel a bit challenged by trying to take a meeting online and you're worried about what you're going to say or if people are going to listen. I think it's easy to default to the presentation, look at my slides, I'm going to talk at you and you're going to listen type thing. And
and here's 15 bullet points.
You need a bit of a leap of faith to trust the chat.
Absolutely. And what I reckon helps me is believing that people want to be there as opposed to that they have to be there, that actually this is going to be helpful for everyone. And everyone has something that they want to share, not just to take as well. So encouraging that. Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Yeah, I'll tell you what I've noticed about that starting point as well. So it's not just that you need to get people connected quickly. It's that you cannot get away with not acknowledging the personal stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And that was always kind of true. Like you would have your coffee at the start of the workshop or whatever, and how are you? Oh yeah, how's the kids? Like you would do that bit. But every time I've tried to go and dry and just not do that, all right, one word, how's everyone feeling today? How are you coping with the kids at home? Or whatever. Every time I've tried to skip that, I can feel it later on. And I reckon, don't even try. Just build into your design 5 minutes of...
I like that. And in fact, what you notice, I reckon, in the Zoom chats, right, as I always record the calls, is if you scan through the chat, there's always banter that's not about the topic. And that's great. I mean, it just makes it richer. And that, in fact, it probably happens in normal meetings too, but I think it's a bit more explicit.
Yeah. I reckon that's actually a success factor for a good session. If you read the chat back and there was side banter, you've nailed it.
Yeah, totally. Absolutely. Yeah. No, it's fun. I'm like, bring it on, more of this. In fact, I'm at a point where I'm like, wherever we go back to some other, where we're allowed back in the building, I'm like, I reckon there's always going to be a place for this sort of stuff, because I reckon a lot of people will quite like this idea of working remotely and want to hold on to a bit of it. So let's make this part of the new norm. That's what I'm hoping.
And if it's not about working remotely or using Zoom, but it's more kind of like the idea that we don't have to go back to the way we did meetings or the way we spent our time. Like, what does that look like?
Exactly. Maybe we could do it in short, sharp bursts, and then we could all have a turn to speak rather than have one person speak. All of that stuff. Absolutely, I love it. More of it. Bring it on. What are you guys trying? What are you trying in your world that seems to be working? We'd love to hear that, and maybe you could pop some ideas in the chat box below. The chat box? I'm on Zoom.
The chat box, we're always on Zoom.
Put them in the comments below.
Like and subscribe.
Yeah, subscribe. Go here to subscribe. Go here to get more information about Alicia's boyfriend. Whoop.
I was about to say, fuck, you nailed that close. That was such a good, polished, audience-focused close. And then you start doing this. And it went downhill.
Cam can edit that out. Oh, that's funny.